but we have Jake, toilet paper millionaire. I don't know if you go by that, but that's what it is. I know we can't disclose the exact amount, but for those of you who don't know, he runs Burke International, I think mid 8-figure company, right, Jake?
That's right.
All right, fantastic. And, happens to be a good friend, and we're privileged and lucky to be able to say that. Thanks for finding time, man.
Of course. Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
By the way, so when we were scheduling this, Jake, he just kind of kept on auto declining every invite we would send him. And then me and Omid would be texting me like, hey, is Jake coming to this thing? Because we keep resending this thing and he keeps declining. And so we texted him and we're like, okay, Jake, are you coming? Because it keeps on declining. And he dead ass was just like, yo, my calendar's having a thing. It declines everything. And I was just like, is this some excuse to not show meetings?
Up. Yeah.
And if I woke
up to 40 emails from him.
Yeah, it's the ultimate productivity.
And if so, I need this glitch. But dude, what the fuck is going on with your calendar? I'm happy that we made it though.
I don't know, man. My IT company has looked at it. Sometimes my calendar just picks who it wants me to meet with and who it doesn't. At the end of the day, I get to override it. But yeah, man, I don't know.
Calendar
you made it. I guess that's what it is. It's
my guy. My guy's literally got IT looking into it. That's hectic, bro. That's a Google thing in my opinion. But yeah, it's good to have you. So you're dude, I haven't seen you in a minute. You're going to travel Europe for the summer. Why go cold turkey out of Miami? You're just done with it, and when you come back, you want to just find your bearings, maybe in a new place, or what's going on?
I've really been feeling like the next step that I need in my life to level up, and my wife is very focused on business. So basically to level up in business was to remove myself from Miami. It's a lot of stimulation there, a lot of distractions, and I was finding it hard to think. And the highest leverage thing I can do right now is strategize. And I was really having trouble coming up with good ideas, good strategy. I have a team, I have all these people we can implement, but if I don't come up with good ideas, we only go so far. So, I spent some time away from Miami and just realized I thought that was the best move. And so it's only been a few weeks that I've been out and I feel great. My masseuse even said I feel less stressed.
My masseuse.
Wow, bro, leave it to All right. So
you don't have that many knots this time, Jakey. You don't have that many knots.
We reduced the amount of knots.
Yeah. Our general litmus test is whether or not the masseuse feels that we're less stressed. But what's the move then in that case? Something strikes me that you just want to go rural in that case and just kind of be out in nature and just away from things. That's how I live my life. By the way, I do not live in the cities. I hate cities for the exact reason that it sounds like you haven't come to enjoy them. Are you planning on going rural? What's the intention here?
Yeah, so right now we're in Delray Beach, which is about an hour north of Miami.
Oh, nice.
We, as in me and my girlfriend. And we're going to leave for the summer. We're going to hit Slovakia for 2 weeks, which is where she's from. And then we're going to go to Spain for 2.5 months, Marbella, and just kind of live there. And then when we come back, we're going to stay up this way, either Boca or Delray.
Really? Is it just because
you're
just completely over Miami, even when you get back after you feel like you're getting a reset there?
I'm not completely over it. I just feel like this next chapter, I need to be, here or just somewhere that's a little bit calmer where I can really think. It's been super interesting. My girlfriend and I both are kind of feeling a little bit down being here. So I've been doing some research. We're so wired to, we're adapted to the Miami stimulation. You walk outside, there's Ferraris, Lambos, good-looking people, music, noise, restaurants. And then when you take that away,
you walk outside in Delray, it's just a bunch of ugly fucking people. It's a vacationer.
Everyone's chilling. There's nothing to do, and so our stimulation, we're not getting any, and so it's very 100%. Interesting. But I know that it's going to even out, and then it's going to be super beneficial.
It's crazy for me. Just like what you're saying, how everyone says America has an obesity problem, and you hear this all the time. And I don't experience that in Miami, and it really kind of fucks with my perception of the US. And then I literally just recently went to Orlando to Universal, and I was like, damn, okay, so we do have an obesity problem. And it's just one of the things where Miami is definitely in a little siloed world of its own. I want to I always try to I'm in Miami and I want to build a community, but I'm such a recluse, bro. I barely even leave my house. I find most of the work I do is just all on the computer, and I have to force myself out. But that's a me problem.
I'm pretty similar that way too, but as soon as I find someone that's pretty well connected and I vibe with them, then I'll latch on. Then I'll go out of my way to make plans and grab coffees, and I meet people through them. But I'm how you are. Like I'm pretty happy behind my desk just building.
It's the best, dude.
I'm in the exact same boat. But I mean, well, one more thing before we dive in is that, Jake, I mean, I feel the exact same way. I just feel in life there's like a gestation period between just like departing from, the noise and the stimulus, and just getting in touch with signal and just tuning out the noise. And when you've just been surrounded by so much fucking noise, it just seems to me that there's like this in between where you just have to forego it, like with fortitude and strength and perseverance. And then all of a sudden it clicks. You're like, oh, now I remember why I did this. And so I know it'll work out for you guys. I hope you guys feel better being out there in Delray.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's pretty epic.
Dude, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, let's dive in. So, Jake is here. He runs a very successful boring business. They sell toilet paper and other paper products. Jake, just from 1,000 feet really quickly. And for anybody listening, Jake's going to give 30 seconds on the business. So that way, you have context. But we want to get into deeper stuff. So if you guys want, we'll link to, I think you have like a hero video on your whole business on your YouTube, right? We're going to link your YouTube below. So if you want, just go check out that and you'll, learn about that. But Jake, from 1,000 feet, you want to just, talk about what it is you do, and so people have a little context.
Yeah, for sure. So we manufacture disposable wiping products, toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, and about 300 other products that are used to clean, to wipe. Whether it's in a restaurant, a hotel, Disneyland, wherever it is, all of these businesses use dry cleaning wipes. So I use toilet paper as the example because everybody knows what that is. But the truth is most of our items are things that you and I don't use in our day-to-day, but a lot of businesses use them. Restaurants need these products in the kitchen. A place like Disneyland needs them to put in their restrooms or whatever it is. So
what's an example? Like what's an example?
Like I've got wipes that are disposable that you can't even tear with your hands. So they're super strong, super absorbent. That would be used in an industrial or automotive setting. If you're cleaning, something in the engine bay of a car, imagine using a paper towel, it's going to tear to shreds. So there's a lot of different items that are used for different applications. We have products that can withstand chemicals and grease and absorbents and all these different things. We've got extremely low lint products. We've got different colors for different reasons. So just a variety of products. I didn't even know these things. I would never know that these existed if I wasn't in this business. It's kind of like the cleaning world behind everything that we interact with day to day, all the companies we work with.
So one of the things that I want to kind of talk through here. So everyone is so fascinated with sexy businesses, and myself included, and we're always trying to look for like that fun business. And when you and I actually first met, you were doing something with solar panels or something like that, and then you ended up going all in on the boring business. And I was fascinated with your decision to do that, and then also seeing your journey on YouTube. Why the switch from a sexy business to a boring business? What kind of for a lot of viewers that are hearing how boring businesses are the way to go, what's kind of your mindset behind that?
Omid was particularly fascinated by this because he historically has always done the opposite. He moves directionally toward the shiny penny.
Yep.
And then he actually doesn't even get the shiny penny. He loses money on those ventures.
As I'm vibe coding in the back end as well. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. As you're vibe coding your fucking ass off, you fiend. But yeah, anyways, Jake, good question on me. Just have to roast you, buddy. Jake, off to you.
No, there's a couple of things, if we rewind, I'm 30 now, but if we rewind, to 10 years ago or 9 years ago when I graduated from college, I hated that our business wasn't sexy. And all I could think about was comparing myself to people that were going to Wall Street and doing all these things that I deemed sexy. I was really concerned about that. And so I think one of my answers is over time, I matured and I started to care less about that. And when I got into solar, I was chasing something sexy. I also was chasing what I thought was fast money, which I don't think that really exists. And I just realized how crappy that industry was. And as sexy as it might seem to the outside world, when you're in it, it was actually the opposite. Our toilet paper business seemed a lot sexier from an operational standpoint, from an industry standpoint, and solar was all over the place. So I think that trying it, it was like, is the grass greener on the other side?
Yeah.
For me, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think that is it. Like, dude, every fucking thing that I've ever tried, it's just, you always have this feeling, hey, the grass is greener, and you go do it. And you just realize that like everything looks really good from far away, everything. And you get in there, you try and you're like, oh wow, this thing is shit stained on the inside. Like it really is. There's so much stuff I don't want to get through. And that's actually a lesson that's been occurring in my life as of late, is I've been doing a lot of experimentation. And you learn actually when you go and you pursue some sexy idea, you get to a point where it becomes real. It's like, oh wow, like there's actually real business mechanics behind this that you need to figure out. And they're just the same things I was dealing with in the other business. They're just a different thing. And do I even want this problem? And the reality is that oftentimes you don't. My question for you is like, from a general standpoint, Jake, overhyped or underhyped boring businesses right now? You know, you listen to a lot of business shows, you go online, you go on X, you have so many folks saying, hey, like there's a buy right now. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a founder, you have like this horizontal enabling layer of artificial intelligence, all of this incredible stuff that's happened in Meta, making their model really useful for running ads. Boring businesses usually have none of those things. And as a result, these are great buys. Boomers are retiring. Overhyped or underhyped, in your opinion, from a cultural standpoint?
I think it's still underhyped. I think the whole boom and the hype about it is growing right now. And it's a great place to be in. You know, pick a boring business that's a necessity. Let's give toilet paper as an example, but then layer in those sexy things. Like right now I'm obsessing over AI and how can we bring it into our business? And our industry is old school. You know, I'm dealing with a bunch of like 50, 60, 7-year-old people that have been doing this forever. They're not taking the time to figure out these tools that we all know. So I think you take the boring business, you layer in the sexy. Who knows what's on the other side?
Yeah. How are you thinking about AI and toilet paper right now? I'm actually curious.
Sure. So we do all the simple stuff, you know, drafting emails and copy and things like that with ChatGPT. But we're trying to go a little bit deeper. So right now I'm vetting out some AI calling companies. And I think it's a really good time for that.
Have you tried Vappy?
I haven't tried Vappy. I'm looking at Voxia as like the number one that I've seen so far.
Vappy's leading the category here.
Vappy? Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Good to know. I'll check them out. And what I like about it is that the user's expectation is that it's really crappy. But when you get a call, you're like, holy shit, this is AI. It's nuts. So now's the time to get into it before everyone's expectations change.
Dude, 100%. And so, okay, I have a question for you. How are you planning on using AI calling? Because, dude, Vappy's insane. Like, they recently took on like 2 Fortune 500 clients as case studies, and I think it's like a 95% indistinguishable rate. Most people just have no idea that they're talking to an AI when they run samples. Oh, dude, it's all the rate. Because are you guys on Product Hunt by chance? Do you guys spend any time on Product Hunt? You should. And so like, it's like where all the rage is happening right now with AI. And so sign up for it and just get, you know, those daily updates, and you'll see things like Vappy, and they're applicable. They have good use cases, but how are you planning on using an AI caller, Jake? Are you planning on like, is it going to be outbound, inbound? What's it going to be?
Sure. So right now as a company, we've got very big revenue goals, increase revenue. And most of that we're driving through our current customer base. So I want to use AI to stay in touch with our customers. We've got about 650 and not enough humans to service them at the highest level possible. So if I can get more touch points to these customers with AI, it's going to increase my retention. It's probably going to increase my business that I develop with them. So we want to start there. I basically just look at where are we lacking as humans in the business, and then can AI jump it? So for us, it's getting enough calls out, getting enough touch points out.
Gotcha. So off of that as well, what's your plan essentially? So once you do find those gaps, how do you plan on rolling out the AI tools and making sure that, you know, your team does adopt those changes?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I know a lot of people are afraid of like, oh, AI is going to lose our jobs, and you know, it's just going to. In some cases it might, but others it will definitely amplify. But I also know some people are very resistant to change. So how do you plan on like rolling out AI to such a, you know, large organization right now that is, you know, pumping out revenue?
To a bunch of boomers, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta get the boomers on board.
Yeah. First off, training the sales team that we have over the years has been interesting because, you know, my youngest person's probably 27. My oldest might be 60, and then everything in between. So it's always interesting. This AI calling isn't going to replace what anyone's going to do. It's going to support them. You know, they can't get enough calls out. So I think the key thing is framing any of these softwares as a benefit to the employees, and then they're more open to embrace it. And that's how I see it. It's going to increase their retention, and, you know, they're making money, they're making commissions. It's going to increase new business. Even if AI uncovers an opportunity, it still goes to a human. And even as a strategy, I want human interaction. Like, I think actually if people can do more of that now, more in person, it's super beneficial because everyone's going the opposite way. So I'm just using it to support what we're doing and still stay on the same path.
Okay. I really like that answer. Have you considered, I've been speaking to some companies recently that are doing this. Omid actually has been interested in doing this as an AE as well. At least I think it was you, Omid, who I was chatting with on this. It's been a few people, but have you considered running AI like behind? This is really simple, like right there with ChatGPT, but even running things like Otter as your team is doing calls and as your team is doing email, and just have it analyze like the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the way that they're communicating with your current customer base. Have you made that consideration?
I have not. What's that called?
There's a few tools that do it. You can like hack it together through Otter, which is just something you can run in the background to just analyze everything transcripts wise, and then train a model to just determine if you have like a sales process that like spin selling or something that you use. You can train the model on spin selling and say like identify where we're being effective, identify where we're being like really meek and weak, identify where we should have made an ask sooner, identify how the customer is feeling, like give us feedback ongoing. I think that'd probably benefit you guys a lot.
Yeah, that's super interesting. You just gave me an idea. We record all of our calls with Fathom. Could probably take those transcripts and throw that into AI.
Yeah.
Dude, if you uploaded them and just studied them, as a founder, you can just give top-down direction and just have an insane session.
Yeah.
Omid, what are you going to say?
No, I that's what I'm doing internally. So I built a custom GPT that's trained on all these different sales methodologies, like spin selling is one of them. And whenever I'm stuck in a deal or I want to progress it, or I'm trying to like learn from a loss, I'll literally feed it my transcripts and my emails. And I'm like, here's my assumption about the deal. Where did I go wrong? And then it will immediately point out exactly where it is. So given that you have so much data, you can be able to, just like Nick is saying, analyze it and find trends. Maybe there's a specific pain point that your reps keep coming up against, but they're not hearing it clearly. And then you could frame a benefit around that, or a feature or something around that.
That's a very good idea.
Oh yeah. This is a really good bridge because I wanted to dig in, man, with you on boring businesses. I think they're also underhyped, and I'm personally interested in an acquisition. And so right now, me and my partners, my co-founders, what we've done is like we've compiled a list of thousands of emails across different sectors of boring businesses: construction, painting, cleaning, so many. And we have cold emails going out, and we're trying to basically suss out problems that they're facing. And we have an assumption, and I wanted to ask you whether or not this assumption is a accurate assumption, being in a boring business yourself. Our assumption that we're testing is that most boring businesses, they lack effectiveness in generally two areas, if you were to acquire one. The first, in no particular order, is like operational efficiency and effectiveness throughout the organization. Most are not run by entrepreneurs and founders like yourself that are growth minded. Most are run by like tradespeople, who had a skill or something and they, found a way to create a business around it. So operational efficiency. And then the second is sales and marketing. Like, because of the same reason, most of them are just ineffective at scale through sales and marketing. Are those assumptions true in your mind? Is the first question.
You're going to love this. The two things I focused on for 10 years are the things you just said. That's it.
No fucking way, dude.
Like 100%, I'm not exaggerating. So systems and processes was huge. I brought in Monday.com as our like project management for everything. We use it in every part of our business, and we didn't have that before. And we continue to bring software in to just streamline things. But systems and processes has been huge. And I think it's also the boomer generation got by on hard work and just like grit.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was. And now we come in and we're so much more efficient, and we're so focused on how do I get more done in less time. That's been my like North Star this whole way through. So that's first. And then second, 100% sales and marketing even more so, because these days you got to be up with the trends. And marketing has gone towards social media. So now you're talking about a generation that's not really on social media. So for sure. And a lot of, I'm kind of doing something similar to you, just keeping an eye on some of these businesses. And I have a buddy that'll send me websites and he's like, I can't believe this looks like it's from the 90s. If someone could just come in and do the marketing, it would probably turn these companies around, let alone sales and operations.
Yeah. It's funny you say, and that's, sorry, Omid, I'm going to pass the mic to you in one second.
You're good.
What we wanted to do is we just wanted to be like effective before we like take on a debt facility and buy one. What we're doing is we're just running all these tests with businesses right now. We have a test going with a construction company where they come to us and we're like, okay, what is your problem? It's like hilarious. And we are trying to determine whether or not we use AI to solve it. I have a question specifically about this, but Omid, where were you gonna add to that?
I was just going to ask if any of you have used Manus AI.
No.
Okay, so it's a Chinese AI tool, but it's a superpower. So what you can do is you can literally ask it, be like, hey, build me a business plan and I want to make $1 million in the next 18 months. This is what I'm trying to do. And it will literally spend 15, 20 minutes and it will go through and it has multiple agents that work for you, and it will go and it will do competitor research. It will pull up an in-depth market analysis. It's like having a junior analyst that works for you, and it will give you everything from competitor research to pain points to trends and on Reddit across the internet.
Omid, how is that different from like GPT-4 or like the coming release of GPT-5 or Gemini?
Because those are just doing like deep research. Which Manus does in a sense, but Manus goes even deeper, and it has multiple agents that are all doing a lot of work as they're going throughout the process. It can even build you an entire landing page, kind of like it merges all those tools into one. So like you can literally give it like, hey, this is my assumption of what I'm thinking about a specific business. Like you can even give it like Burke International and say, this is the type of business that we're running. Can you do competitor research or trends or something? I'm trying to break, X revenue goal, and then it can give you some ideas that you probably haven't even thought about. I'm giving
that's fascinating.
Yeah, dude, I'm testing it right now, and it's fucking blowing my mind. I'm doing it on like a newsletter business. It's so cool what AI is able to do to kind of like help you just think through things at such a rapid pace.
So Jake, this is a test for you. Did you hear the shiny penny in Omid's rant?
I might have missed it.
Yeah, the newsletter, bro.
Hey, hold on. Just in, he's starting a newsletter business there, but I just found out about it in real time.
Man.
And what a guy. So Jakey, first of all, Omid, shout out that tool. Okay, so I wanted to ask, what are your favorite, if you can turn them into a principle, fine, even better. But if it's just specifically for your business, I think people are smart enough to glean the insight. What are your favorite like operational effectiveness, efficiency things that you've done with your company over the past decade that are both like, let's divide them into two categories, tech and non-tech, and completely acceptable to give simple stuff that's obvious, like Monday.com. Completely acceptable.
Sure. The reason we brought Monday.com on is because we had different departments inputting information into, let's say, a spreadsheet. And then at some point down the line, that would then get communicated to somebody else, and then it would trigger another thing. Anytime you're doing that, anytime one person is inputting data, you should have software like Monday.com to then trigger the next event, because the data usually doesn't sit there. So that was the first thing that we looked at. I don't know what type of principle you want to call that. The second thing is any follow-up that we could automate, we did. So that was more on the sales side.
Hold on, go deeper in that. Like, what do you mean, any follow-up?
So I don't know if this is like an operational one, more, this might be a little bit more salesy, but we would, in our business, the sales cycle is 60 or 90 to 120 days, let's say, depending on the size of the deal. It's a lot of email follow-up that happens, a lot of emails that don't get responded to. All of that has to be automated. So anywhere that we could just automate repetitive tasks, that was a no-brainer. And I guess that still happens in other areas of the business too, but mostly sales. I'm trying to think. It's a good question that you asked.
And by the way, I'm happy you're going. My next question was naturally going to be sales and marketing. So just feel free to like pluck your favorites. And by the way, I'm already gleaning, man, that like it's just whenever I love talking with people that are doing it like yourself, and I know Omid does as well, because it's never complicated. It's like, oh wow, like that's a pretty obvious idea. It's like, yeah, most people just aren't doing the obvious hard work things. It's actually like, I would encourage anyone listening to this, if you're not on Monday.com or Asana or Airtable or something, and you own a business and you have operational shit to do, the chances are really high that it's going to help. Go do it. And what you're going to realize is it's actually really hard to migrate and learn a new tool for like the first 2-3 weeks and month. And then it's really hard to train everybody to use it and like mandate it. And I'm sure that's been a lot of Jake's work over the past 10 years. And so I think the magic isn't in the idea, Jake. It's in the fact that you actually did it. But is there anything else that comes to mind?
I'm trying to think of like specific examples. I don't have any off the top of my head, but they might come out as we keep talking.
So
okay, cool. Hell yeah.
I got a follow up then that I feel like would be able to kind of piggyback off of that. So you're really big on phone task versus computer task. How are you able to think through what needs to be a phone task and how are you going and actually making it into a phone task? Because that's something that you're operationalizing internally with what you're up to.
Yeah, so this is more for like the owners of companies, the entrepreneurs in the companies that are just working super hard and their life is designed around their business, but I believe their business should be designed around their life. So I look at all my tasks as phone tasks and email tasks, as you said. And the first way to do that is to do a time audit of where I'm spending my time. And I will take the time. I did this for a week once. Everything I did, I'm talking about like get up to go to the bathroom, come back, I timestamped it. Check Instagram, timestamped it. And I'm shout out to my friend Ryder. He's the one that put me onto this and inspired me to do it. But then I could analyze everything that I did. So I categorized all my tasks. Social media would obviously be like, I call that like a break. But there were sales tasks, marketing tasks, operational, leadership, whatever, email tasks, whatever it was. And I just broke it down. I'm like, where am I spending most of my time? Okay, is this something I could do from my phone? If I could do it from my phone, I could do it from anywhere. And so I just started going down this path and I didn't overwhelm myself with trying to do everything at once. I would just pick one category and go, could this be, done over the phone? So for example, before I brought HubSpot on, the CRM that we had didn't have an app. So then we brought HubSpot on. Now there's an app. Now I can just do it from my phone. So it's simple. It's simple, but it just takes some thought and it takes some strategy as far as where you want to start. So I'm basically down to the point where maybe 5% of what I do, I prefer to not do on my phone, like look at spreadsheets. I can still do it from my phone, but basically 5% of my workload at this point would be considered computer tasks. Everything else, phone task. I can do it from a cafe in Positano.
So hold on a second. I'm going to pull something up. I'm going to share my screen.
By the way, I think I said phone task and email task, but what I meant to say was phone task and computer task.
Okay, so does that explain this? 1 second. Everybody take a look.
Oh, I'm getting nervous.
This is Jake's. No, don't be nervous. This is Jake's travel setup, everybody. Oh, wait, dang. Here, 1 second. I got to share it on over here. 1 second. So this is Jake's travel setup. My boy is absolutely running up the fucking RAM on this iPad, bro. Like my guy out here fucking with a suitcase.
So for the audio listeners,
setup. Let's get,
it's Jake overlooking a pool with an iPad on a monitor stand, a Bluetooth keyboard, and a Bluetooth mouse, and his shades, and he's just ripping it. Wow, look at that view.
I want to break this down a little bit. And this this trip was pivotal for me. So what you're looking at is I'm in Tulum, Mexico. I moved there for a month. And I'm actually sitting at a cenote in the development that I was living in. I had intention around the tools that I bought. So if you look at the stand, first off, the laptop isn't an iPad. It's a Surface Pro, fully juiced up. Operates as fast as a MacBook Pro.
Oh, so now
so that was intentional because I knew if I was going to use like a tablet, it had to operate at the highest level possible. So at the time, it was the fastest I could get. Then I bought this stand, and the stand folds flat, fits in my briefcase, so I could take it with me anywhere. So I found a foldable stand. The keyboard you're looking at folds into thirds. I could fold the keyboard up too.
Wait, hold on. How? Like it looks like it's hard plastic.
Literally both sides just go like this, and it becomes this like little thing. And I can fit it all in my briefcase. Was the key.
Does the mouse?
So I literally would just take my briefcase anywhere and just pop everything out, do my setup.
Does the mouse deflate?
The mouse doesn't deflate. And I will say they do have a travel size one.
I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it if the mouse doesn't deflate.
I'm like the Transformers of business setup.
That's hilarious. Why Surface though? Like, given that you can do the same shit on a Surface that you can on a Mac. I know iPad has limitation, but I know Surface is like having just a tablet that's a Windows device. Why not just get like a small laptop? Like why a Surface? Or I guess why not a Mac or something? I don't know.
Why not
a laptop? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask. Holy cow, dude.
Like, I don't know. Like, why not like a MacBook Air that's like this thin?
Yeah. So I liked having a tablet because I would use it. I would do the notes on it and everything and write with the pen. That was something at the time that I was using. I also used to read all my books on there and I would highlight them and then I would export my highlights, throw them into ChatGPT, do some stuff with them. So at the time I was really using the tablet feature. Our whole organization runs on Windows. So for me to have a Mac, I could do 90% of things, but that 10% is really annoying. And I'm getting rid of it now and I am getting a laptop, but it is thin and it runs faster than this program that this current one.
Nice.
So I'm leaving in 3 weeks for Europe. So I'm going to have it before then.
I love it, dude. Okay. So I wanted to build off your previous point. And so I am a huge fan of 4-Hour Work Week by
Me
Tim
too.
Ferriss. And I know
Changed
you're a
my
huge
life.
fan of Buy Back Your Time. You actually got me that book. Thank you. And they're all saying the same thing by and large, which is like, hey, like you really don't need to be stressing this much and working this hard to achieve the goals that you want. You could actually do less and achieve more. And it's a very real thing. And so what I struggle with most often, oddly enough, is just discipline, man. I know I shouldn't be doing things, and yet I find myself doing them anyway for stupid reasons. Like, oh, I'm home, my laptop's right here. I might as well just hop into this meeting
Shiny penny
or something.
syndrome.
And so that's not what it is, dude. At all. Like my guy out here trying to get me in the dirt, bro.
Misery loves company.
And so so how do you stay constant in this category, or are you constant in this category of like efficiency, or do you fuck up? And yeah, what's your relationship with it?
Sure. So if we go back to the time audit, shout out to Coach Joe, by the way. You introduced me to him.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, like, Joe's this guy I introduced Jake to, and it turned out to be his coach. I just want to hear about some of the insights that you gleaned from him after this.
We had an episode with Joe.
I'm stealing everything he's told me. That's everything you've gotten so far.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Hell yeah. Shout out Joe.
I've learned a lot from him, and the way he does the time audit is he looks at it in terms of what gives me energy or what takes my energy. So if you start by delegating the things that take your energy, you're probably going to be less inclined to go out of your way to do them because you don't want to do them in the first place. To answer your question, I'm super disciplined in this category because I don't want to do these things. I don't want to. Like, there's certain things I really want to do. I like building. I really like social media and branding. There's stuff I like to do. The more I delegate and the more I buy back my time, the less tolerance I have for doing those tasks. I can't stand it. And I think that's just like a matter of just doing it over a period of time. Tolerance just goes like, you just lose your tolerance to doing those tasks once you learn that other people can do them for you. So maybe you haven't had enough of someone doing these things for you to be like, I don't know. It just sounds like you haven't fully let go.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. And like the chat, I work in creative, right? And so a lot of the stuff I do, I fucking love doing. I would do it all if I could. Dude, I get to listen to podcasts all day long for a living. That's what I do. It's insane. And so I absolutely love it. If I can, be of help, I literally love it. And so but I shouldn't be doing it all.
Just delegate the stuff you don't like. Keep what you like.
Yeah, fair enough. But the stuff that I do really like, there's a lot of it and I need help. And I don't like, I guess I don't want to be doing it all because I'll be up until, 11 or 12 each night if I were to do it all. And I do have a team that does a lot, but sure. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, I think it just depends on your goals. If you're trying to scale, then at some point you have to have a conversation with yourself and say, if my true goal and my true North Star is that I want to scale, then I'm holding myself back by not doing this. I'm my own problem. So wow. I would lean into your goal.
Damn. Wait, damn, bro. My guy out here giving fucking coaching lessons. I mean, what do you got, bro? I want to get off this chopping block.
Well, there's one more thing I want to go through. So with the auditing time, and I heard from Sahil Bloom as well, he was like, look at your calendar and go through everything that you've done on the calendar and mark it green as what gave you energy. Kind of a very similar concept there, but I'm not disciplined enough to fucking update my entire calendar and have everything blocked out. I really like your strategy of going out and time blocking the things that you've done in the heat of it. So do you have like a sheet of paper and you're like, all right, man, here's what I did like right when you get up? Do you have like a timer? Like what's the actionable way for anyone to be able to go through this process? Because I'm definitely doing this shit after.
Just literally take an Excel spreadsheet and just like write the first thing down that you did. Like if it's make coffee, it's like make coffee from like 8 o'clock to 8:02.
Oh,
and whatever the next thing is you did, like it's insane. It's insane. But
have you guys heard of this though? Have you heard of this, Shaky?
What is it? Oh, yeah, I use Brick every day.
I use Brick too, but you use this? Yeah, bro.
I use this every single day.
Me too, but but it doesn't time block. It just blocks everything out.
Oh, you know what? I fucked up. I pulled up the wrong thing. Do you know what I was looking for?
Man, my guy got roasted so bad. He pulled up the wrong thing.
Yeah, bro. Omid is so butthurt that I called this shit shiny penny syndrome.
Yo, this is the best podcast I've ever been on. This is amazing.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. It's really all Omid. He makes himself so easy. He's such an easy target. He's like a deer, and I'm a lion. And so,
yeah. After this call, my guy's gonna go in the mirror and be like, "I am a lion. I am a lion."
Yeah. Shout out Tony Robbins, bro. It's not gonna work either. And so, No. There's this fucking thing you can keep by your desk, like a little cube, and I'm not kidding. You just flip it. I'll find it for you guys. Anyways, Jake, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'll find this while you talk about how you block your time. So Google spreadsheet, you make a coffee. It took 2 minutes. Keep on going.
Yeah, literally everything that you do and where we think we're spending our time, and then the data you're going to find out after you do this exercise are going to be different. You know, we think we spend a certain amount of time on things, but most people are completely wrong. I've seen this through our own employees that have gone through this exercise. You know, you just ask them, how are you spending your days? Tell me how it's split up. Okay, great. Now do this exercise for me. Let's see how the data compares. And the same thing is true for us. So you have to do it if you want to get super detailed on yourself.
So I have a follow-up, because this is something that I've struggled with myself. And I know you're a fucking machine, cold plunging and all that. I realized that I don't have a time problem. I have a focus problem. And I don't know if it's my ADD or if it's just my shiny penny syndrome, as Nick has pointed out multiple times in the pod. But I want to do so much shit in the day. How do you like keep your energy and your focus to be able to crush all the tasks that you have in a day? I know you delegate a lot of it, and you know you have phone tasks and computer tasks, but when you do want to build and you are looking to move shit forward, how do you make sure that you squeeze the fruit for all the juice it has in a day?
I mean, one thing is I'm super conscious of how I'm feeling. Like if I get to the point where I'm reaching burnout, I stop. I don't push it further than that. I think that's more net negative than net positive. But I do lean on as many tools as I can. I cold plunged before this podcast because I wasn't feeling as sharp as I wanted to. Well, I have that tool, so I lean into that tool. I stopped drinking coffee a week ago. I feel like a superhuman right now. Because I was leaning on coffee to get more work done, which meant it was coming from external. So I'm thinking, how do I switch that up? And also coffee made it harder to focus for longer, because once that wave died out, I had to go back up again. I had dead time. So now I'm just cruising. So I'll just do anything that I can. I'll lean into any tactic possible, but I also comes back to my goals. Like if you've got a goal and you really believe in it, and then and you find yourself not wanting to work hard, then you better have a conversation with yourself about what you're trying to do. I'm super hard on myself. Like I'm just super hard on myself. I don't even know if I have real good advice for you there.
No, that's fire.
I'm just so hard on myself.
Now Omid is on the chopping block. I love this shit. But
by the way, when I say you, I just mean people. But
no. You meant Omid. It's fine.
That's cool.
This thing, it's not as cool as I thought. That's about where I'm at. But anyways, it's basically like this little, I don't know what, Omid, what shape is this, dude?
For the viewers or for the listeners, my guy pulled up a very cheaply made Chinese toy for $80 that has some icons on it.
There's a properly branded one, all right, Omid? And then basically you program it to, you guys get it, right? You like flip it based on the thing, and then it automatically tracks your time. This is way less cool than I thought. I'm only sharing it because
why don't you just look up on Amazon, bro? What is robotshop.com?
It's huge. Look at the third picture. It looks like a tiny little thing.
Oh my God, dude. What is that? Click on the third pic.
The third pic on the left.
Don't be a boomer, bro. To the left.
The third one down on the left.
You guys are over here. Okay, got it. Sorry, I didn't realize you guys were on the whole
thing, bro. Wow, that's huge.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's not going to fit in Jake's briefcase, bro.
This isn't good for travel.
I see. I don't trust this at all because it looks really big here. This is an example of bad marketing, people. Really bad product photos. No offense, robot shop.
I think Omid nailed it. Someone's making crazy margins off this thing, shipping straight from China.
This is crazy, dude.
Yeah. And by the way, have you guys? Okay, all right. Fun little litmus culture test for you guys. What's the new drop shipping? So like a while ago, people would be on YouTube running ads saying, hey, yo, you can make $10,000 a month, 30 days, sign up for my course. I'm going to teach you how to drop ship. What's the new drop ship? See if you guys are getting your asses targeted.
Coaching?
No,
almost. Omid, what is it?
I think that the new drop ship right now is
TikTok shop.
Yeah, TikTok shop. Close. Or lead generation.
No, bro. AI agent. I'll build an AI agent for you. I'll teach you how to, implement AI. And I'm just like, man, these guys.
But before you change topics, the way I know something is about to hit mega mainstream is when Ty Lopez builds a course around it. So he was the first one that did social media marketing agencies, and it fucking blew up. And now everyone was helping boring businesses create websites and all that. And then I recently got hit with an ad where he's like, let me teach you how to make AI agents. And I was like, oh, this is about to be next level.
It sounds like
I don't like to hate on any of these internet guys. Like I actually
he's the man.
usually defend them. Is he legit?
Tyler,
He's the one I can't stand the most.
Oh, dude. Yo. So I always, and dude, I'm not this type of guy. I throw my hat in the ring for him for one reason. Years ago, I have a story. So years ago, I remember I was in college, and then this was back in the day when I used to smoke weed. I don't smoke weed anymore, but we were high. And then a Ty Lopez ad came on, and we just got enthralled. The guy's engaging. Yeah. And so we ended up watching this like ad for like 40 minutes, and his course was irresistible, $67. And so we did the right thing. We split it down the middle. So we split it. So it's like $30 each, right? And basically the idea was that 67 steps, it's an hour-long video. You do it once a day. It was legit. And after that, I was just like, you know what? He's a real deal. I think his gift in life is that he's actually able to teach. He's a really phenomenal teacher and a communicator. But I am like you, Jake. Like there's obvious reason to be, skeptical, but because of his ad sets and stuff, but he turned out to be helpful for me as well.
Sure.
I saw him speak.
I think so many of these people are positive. What I don't like, he comes off disingenuous to me. Like when I see an ad where he's like, I happen to have like an hour on my calendar if you want to book it. And I'm like, I don't know. It just seems.
Those are whack. Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
We tried to get him on the podcast. Remember?
Yeah, we tried to get him on the show. And so, I mean, I'll just share it here. Like, again, Ty, I respect you, but I don't think this is the right move for your brand. If you and your team ever happen to see this, he sells time openly to like open market public. And so you could pay to have him on your show for like $10,000 to $25,000. And so it's just a non-starter for me. Like I come from this world. I know podcasting. It's better to just nurture the freshman class and do some favors during the year or just say no for free. You don't need the money, like you don't need the 25 racks. Don't hit, the freshman class over the head with it. Just bring them up, do the cool thing. And I disagreed with it. And so, that was that. Are there any guys that you've seen or girls you've seen over the years that have really made a difference for you?
Dan Martell for sure. Also buy back your time.
If you could encapsulate the lesson that he's given you in life, what would it be in a sentence or a paragraph or something?
I think needing other people, you need other people to grow. So you delegate to other people, you grow with other people. And his whole principle is about that. Can't really buy back your time without others. Samuel Anuha, before he went to jail.
Who's that?
Smuggling cocaine. Samuel Anuha has a brand called Icon.
Oh,
really good looking
the
dude
Dubai guys,
out of Amsterdam. He's in Dubai. They're living a crazy life. And I started watching him at the beginning of last summer when he started growing. And I actually met him in Marbella. I spent last summer in Marbella also. Met him at the Dolce & Gabbana Beach Club, of course.
My God.
And he was the man. And he has a video about his routine. It's like an hour long. And he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Disciplined, crazy. He quit drinking coffee. All these things that really inspired me. And then recently he's been in jail, but he's 25 years old and built what seems to be about a $40 million a year fashion brand called Icon. It's athletic clothing. But he really inspired me big time.
Yeah.
Fuck
Nick, and for the listeners that don't know, they have a YouTube channel, and I'm blanking on what the name is, but it's like two brothers, him and his brother. Do you know the name of the YouTube channel?
I think it's just Sonuha or Samuel Anuha. That's his name.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll just look it up. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Show me.
Their
Jake.
channel popped. Like they must have picked up a few 100,000 subs in like 6 months or something.
Yeah. But while you pull it up, Nick, so they
how do I spell
Samuel?
Right there.
You go.
Right there.
First one.
First one. They were on top of the YouTube game. Like they were popping up everywhere. And they recently got arrested. Like Jake was saying, they smuggled in cocaine to Dubai. And
that's
they got
allegedly.
Caught.
I gotta back them up.
Allegedly.
Fair enough.
But now they're sitting in Dubai jail.
If you guys ever travel to Dubai, I know Omid's been, you got to be hella careful. They have like all these really intense rules.
Not worth it.
I want to put my prediction out so that if it comes true, we can come back to this.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
I think they were living a fast life. They threw a party at their house. Drugs were there. I don't see them doing drugs. Like I really don't pin them as people doing drugs or smuggling drugs, but the responsibility is on them. It's their villa. Cocaine's there.
Okay,
That's what I think happened.
Okay, cool. All right. Fair enough. So we have the Samuel Anuha predictions here on the podcast. I have no opinion, but I'm going with Jake. I hope that is.
I think they're out right now, apparently.
So,
but anyway,
I hope that they're up.
I want to shift gears here. Well, kind of. So we were talking about people that have inspired you, and one of the things that I'm a big believer of is, get a coach, shiny pennies and coaches. Get a coach that can get you to the next level. And as someone like yourself who's already playing at such a high level, you mentioned a coach that you worked with, who's actually someone on the pod that we had, friend of the pod.
I forgot,
Damn, that's fucked up, Nick. So friend of the pod. What made you want to go and invest in a coach, and how did you? When you're working with a coach at your level, how do you get to the next level working with them? Because I feel like, for people that are just starting, or even that haven't cracked a million, you're trying to hit the million, but you're already crushing it. So how do you get to the next level? And what does that look like for you?
Sure. So for the longest time, I grew just from hustling. I was just grinding and putting in the work, and that's how we were growing. Then when I realized that was kind of capping out, I leaned into books and podcasts heavy. Every book I could read, I read, and every podcast I could watch, and I was just consuming content. Then I did Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, and I was like, all right, let me now pay for the knowledge more so than buying a book. So that was kind of my next step. But then I got to a point where I was like, I need a bespoke service to talk to me about my actual business. These books don't talk to me about our business. They just talk about business. Tony Robbins doesn't talk to me about my business. He just talks about business. And so it's more, I think, being self-aware of what's going on and realizing that I'm capped out and putting my ego aside and being like, I can't do this. I need help, and needing someone that could really look at our business specifically. So that's when I started working with Coach Joe, and he helped tremendously. Basically, my entire 2025 sales plan, he helped me build out KPIs, goal setting. We have a sales target of new business of $1.5 million per month of new business. None of that would have even been remotely possible without the help of Joe. So he gave me ideas that I read about them, but when someone tells you how to apply them to your business, it's a different ballgame. And then I'll take it a step further. That alone, I still felt like I was in the technical business knowledge world. I was still just learning technical business knowledge. And I felt like the next step for me, so that was probably a year ago I started with him. I felt like the next step for me was myself, working on my mental and emotional side. And I hired a spiritual coach that works with entrepreneurs. Whoa. And so for me, that was the next side. I need to really know who I am as a person, why I'm wired the way that I am, how my childhood shaped me, what my triggers are. If I could really understand myself, I firmly believe that the better someone knows who their true authentic self is, the more successful they'll be in life. I think it's directly correlated.
Dude, I fucking love that. And I have one note, and then also I want to acknowledge you for something, but a friend of mine, one of my business partners, he said he was doing this the other day. I thought it was brilliant. And then Omid said he was doing it too. And now I'm starting to do it. Do you have ChatGPT Plus?
Yes.
The paid version? Great. And so if you have it's automatically toggled on, but double check in your account. I could show you on FaceTime if you'd like, to just make sure that it has auto memory saved. And I don't know if you do this, but my friend, what he literally does, my co-founder, when he just has free time, he'll be driving or in the morning, he just talks to it about his life. And he's doing it with the intention he's not looking for solutions. He just wants it to get to know him. And now when he opens up a chat, it has all this context, infinite context, like a friend, hours of conversation. Hey, yeah, that business idea I was telling you about? I don't know when it was. What do you think of this? And it instantly knows. And so it's probably worth, you having a pocket coach if you haven't thought of that already.
I'll send you a prompt.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, after this, I'll send you a prompt.
I was going to say, I know someone who's done something similar. He also told me he put his blood work panel in there.
Yeah.
And whatever that body scan thing is you do at the gyms for $29.99.
Yeah,
threw that into all his biometrics and just wants it to learn about it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Omid's working on a stealth idea, bro.
Yeah, I am.
Shiny penny, baby.
It's dude, there's so many cool shit to do. Oh, not enough time.
Yeah. Have you read The One Thing by Gary Keller?
So my it's so funny you say this, dude.
That book is his arch fucking nemesis.
Yeah,
dude.
Not only is that book my arch nemesis, my mentor was the CEO of that company. So not Gary Keller, but Gary Keller hired this guy to build his business, and that's my mentor. So if you can imagine my shiny penny syndrome and my mentors, I was like, do one fucking thing. So yeah, dude, I come across that a lot. And I'm like, I end up having too much time when I do one thing because I love to delegate. And then I'm just sitting there like, fuck, I should do something. Because I used to play a ton of video games and I would just waste a ton of my time. And I sold my gaming, all my gaming stuff. And I'm like, all right, now I have time. I just want to build. And then I feel like if I'm not building, I have this time. I'm like, damn, well, let me just fucking build. It brings me so much joy and then nothing comes from it. Because of course.
I mean, I know I'm just roasting you, but it's not actually true, man. Like when you experiment, that's how you find things, you know, and like that is what comes from it. By the way, we're at the top of the hour, so Jake, I want to get you up and out, but I do want to, I want to acknowledge you, man. Like, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, no bullshit. I know we're friends, but Jake, you're incredibly humble, man. Like, I mean, we know that you do well, and you know that you do well, and people who follow you know you do well. But the part of you that's humble is really inspiring to me. It's the most inspiring part of you, actually. And I want to acknowledge you for it because Jake has called me consistently over the years and I've called him and just asked for advice on things like YouTube, just a subject that I happen to know some stuff about. And his approach to it is so phenomenally humble. His approach to working with Coach Joe is so phenomenally humble. And I think it's a hack for you. You know, getting a spiritual coach, you're just unfiltered, you're clear, man. And to me, that's worth acknowledging. And so shout out to you.
It. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, we have one fun question for you, and then we're gonna let you go. You ready? Okay, Omid, why don't you choose one of the fun questions from the bottom of the thing?
All right, let's see what we got here.
By the way, we're about to hit 4K subs on YouTube, baby.
Oh my God, bro, dude, that video's popping off, bro. And I saw that you leaning into
I'm leaning into the boring business and the
boring business thing. Built my $1 million thing. Hell yeah, I'm proud of you, bro. Congrats,
appreciate it, bro.
Dude. 0 to 1K, hardest thing. Next hardest thing, 1 to 10K. After 10K, you hit a small threshold that it just starts compounding in a small way if you watch it. And then you get to 50K and 100K and you're off. I will say, don't be discouraged, though. Like YouTube has changed a lot. I've been meaning to tell you this, and that just no one subscribes anymore. Like we all watch channels that we don't subscribe to. So pay attention to your views over time, your views and impressions, and your subscribers will just naturally follow that. That's just where YouTube is as an algo. All right, Omid, off to you.
All right. What is a random project you have going on in your life? Non-work answers only.
Oh man, a random project alone.
Not moving. That doesn't count. We already know you're moving.
Not going to Europe. Doesn't count. You already said
I'm trying to get shredded. Does that count?
Okay, cool. Hell yeah, bro. You're trying to get shredded? What's your goal?
Oh, I don't know, man. I just want to look above average.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Sounds good,
just
dude.
Pure vein metrics.
I fucking love it. Okay, cool. All right. Let me ask you one more. What's the one thing on your to-do? No. I like your answer, but you didn't have anything like crazy there. Like, hey, I'm building a fucking deck and I've never built a deck. All right. What's one thing on your to-do list that never gets done?
Bro, I don't know, man. These are good questions.
This guy's a machine.
Bro, you gotta give me another.
All right,
my guy out here about to give me the interview answer. What's your greatest weakness? I have none. Bro.
All right, I got one more for you. All right, you can't work.
Should I start saying some crazy shit for clips? Like, what do we do? I'm down for that.
Yeah, bro. Let's just clip it.
You guys have heard this thing that you should hire like the most autistic person you can if you want to be rich?
Wait, dead ass?
Like Rain Man?
I just keep seeing it on the internet. Huh?
Are you dead ass? Wait, hold on. Okay, yo. By the way, we should have this debate real quick. 1 bear or 100 men?
A bear?
This thing is hilarious. You think gorilla?
Oh yeah, gorilla.
Yeah, bro, you got me fucked up. A bear, dude.
Where are the guys? Where are they from? Like, are these like Miami dudes or
your situation? Whatever your situation is, like.
I think the guys are winning. I
really okay, cool. All right, explain yourself.
It's just a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of people, man. If they all attack that fucking bear or that gorilla at once,
the first 20 or 30
what's the gorilla
dead.
gonna do?
I'm so easily swayed on this argument because it just sounds right hearing it from you. But I've heard people say the gorilla before, and that sounds right as well.
I watched.
Somebody should test it. We should stream it or something.
That's so.
We should simulate it via AI.
There was
sponsored by Burke International. Well, gorilla versus 100 men.
Well, guess what?
Sponsored by Burke.
Yo, Google just released their new video AI, and it makes entire fucking movies now. And I'm sure you could literally simulate a gorilla versus 100 men.
The whole thing.
I heard a gorilla expert, ironically enough, talk about this, and she was like, 100 men will win over time because the gorilla will get fucking tired. It will probably kill the first 20 or 30, but then, you know, the other ones can all pile on and shit.
The sacrifices. Omid, you'd be in my 100 men, but I'd put you in the first 20.
I'm last.
Sacrifice
I'm last, bro. But all right, final question here before we wrap up. You can't work for a week. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just chilling at coffee shops.
For doing nothing?
Doing what?
Bro,
if you can't work?
Yeah, just people watch. Just people watch.
Damn.
What the hell?
That's my favorite
This guy's
pastime.
a stalker, dude. What the hell? You mean just going to I'm fucking with you. Yo, Jake, thanks for being on the pod, man. We love you, dog. And I was gonna say I hope to see you before you go to Europe, but I don't think that'll happen. And so I'm sure we'll speak though.
Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for this.
Thanks for coming on, bro. I love you back.